So, good evening, good evening, good evening. We are back again with another fan cam on the channel. Big up to every single one of you that watched the watch along. Brentford 0, Arsenal 3. We wrote the wrongs of last year. Redemption. Gabriel Magalhaes has just put Ivan Toney to bed with the exact same tweet that Ivan Toney posted last season. Big up, because I said all the way through the watch along, if none of these players tweet that out, they've missed a trick. And bang, just like that, Gabby Magalhaes has put that out there. Make sure you are subbing to the channel. Make sure you are sharing the content around. There's 2 links in the description of this video, or there will be as soon as I get an opportunity to do it, because I am recording these and uploading and multitasking. But there is a GOONER CLAUDE Trust GoFundMe page in there. Leanne, his daughter, her mother, is doing a skydive for the GOONER CLAUDE Trust. All proceeds will go to that trust. Big up to her. That's going to be happening next month. And there's also another GoFundMe link in there for a guy who's supported my channel for a while. He's been here since day one pretty much. And he is riding a bike all the way from Hertfordshire in England all the way to Istanbul, who has recently lost his father. And his brother also has been battling cancer for 10 years. He also suffers from mental health issues, depression, anxiety, etc., etc. And he is in Austria as we speak, 1/4 of the way to Istanbul. He is raising money for Mind charity. So make sure you go and support them, whether that be just by sharing or if you can, do donate. But big up to all of you guys. But let's talk about the game. We see the starting 11. No Odegaard. We was like, okay, no worries. What's happened here then? Thomas Partey, straight back in the team. The back line. Cool, we're happy with the backline, but no Zinchenko, we knew that anyway. And Ben White did make it, despite the rumours during the week that he was unfit, he wasn't going to make it. The manager said he was fit. He was fit, he played. And he played very well today. The whole team played very well today. Midfield, Fabio Vieira making his debut. We'll come to him in a minute. And then obviously the front line is the front line. But you look at the bench and you just think, please just get this job done, because that bench was mad. There was a 15-year-old on the bench. There's a 17-year-old on the bench. The bench looked like a championship bench, real talk. And for the first 15, 20 minutes, it was a little bit sloppy, a little bit cagey, a little bit bitty, a little bit all over the place. No real quality in the game in the first 20 minutes, barring the way we cut through them like a knife through butter when Gabby Martinelli probably should have scored from 10 yards out. He slipped, he scuffed it. It should have been in the back of the net. Other than that, Brentford really didn't do a great deal, and neither did we until the first goal, which was a lovely cross from Bukayo Saka off the corner. My centre-back leaping, getting the run on Ivan Toney, who didn't even know he was there, leapt like a salmon, bosh, straight in off the post, 1-0. Goal line technology working very well in that one. The second goal. That second goal, by the way, is one of the best crosses and best headering of a ball you will see all season. I do like a bullet header, a nice header across goal. It wasn't really a bullet header, was it? But I do like a headed goal. Headed goals look class, especially when you do not expect a player of Gabriel Jesus to actually score headed goals. It's more technical with his feet and stuff like that. But the pass from Granit Xhaka, who, by the way, is my man of the match, he was absolutely everywhere today. And he's been very, very, very good, like top level good all season. Where has he been hiding? Like, real talk. We've seen you for 7 years, mate. Where have you been for the last 6.5? Because this season, he's probably been our best player. Let's not even kid ourselves here. He has probably been our best player this season. And again today, man of the match performance, lovely little cross in for Jesus, and their header. You get taught as a youngster, any footballers in the chat will know, you get taught as a youngster, head it back across goal, always back the way it come. Bosh. And he did that. The goalkeeper got a slight touch on it, but it doesn't matter. It was 2-0. Half time, 2-0, coasting. Brentford did nothing. Ivan Toney was literally in the back pocket of William Saliba, Ben White, Gabriel Magalhaes. Not so much Tierney, weren't out that side so much. But second half, come out, Fabio Vieira gets an absolute slappage, and all of a sudden we're 3-0 up. And to be honest, at that point, I didn't really notice Vieira on the pitch. I can't lie. But then he scored, and it was almost like, boom, he's come out of his shell. Now he wants the ball. Now he's asking. Now he's here. Now he's there. And in the end, he had a very good performance. Now let's do it again, my friend. He definitely needs to bulk up, by the way. I think if he bulks up, he can be a lot better than that first period of the game before he scored. But again, take nothing away from that strike. If you give a player with quality, time and space, they are going to hurt you at some point, and he did that today. Bukayo Saka, everyone will say he got 2 assists, the corner and Vieira's goal. I don't think he was great today. But again, he's busy, he works hard, he tracks back, he covers with Ben White. But there was an instance in that game where we're on a breakaway, he's got the ball, and there's 3 guys around him. Then another 2 come to him, and it's almost like, well, where's Fabio? Where's Ben White? He was literally 1 on 5 at one point in that game. We need to fix that up, because if we're going to see the best of Saka this season, we need to start getting players forward and helping him and getting overlapping fullback, because he cuts inside too often. He had 1 decent effort in the game, or decent opportunity, which he spooned over the bar. Other than that, he worked hard. And again, another all right performance. Overall, my 4 players of the match, 4 top players of the match. Granit Xhaka, I thought he was the best player on the pitch. Not even an argument for me. Best player on the pitch. I'd then go William Saliba. I thought he was quality. Again, pocketed a very tricky, hard striker to mark. And he did that so comfortably. After that, I'd go with Gabriel Jesus. I thought he was busy. He actually got man of the match. He scored a great header, worked hard, always runs around, always busy. It always looks like he's about to miscontrol the ball, and then he'll do some mad little skill. And again, he's 100 mile an hour, which is great. And then the 4th for me was Thomas Partey. Straight back in the team, doing little Cruyff turns and all sorts, getting chopped down. I thought he was really good. A couple of little bit of sloppy pieces of play, but other than that, on the whole, he was superb as well. Shout out to Toney as well, back in the team. I thought he worked his nuts off, but there wasn't a bad performance on the pitch today. Not many teams are going to go at Brentford and slap them 3-0 and complete domination. That's what it was today. It was complete domination. We are back top of the table, guys. We did it, guys. And I wonder what the team talk was. I wonder what he said before the kickoff. Do you reckon he showed the Ivan Toney tweets? But listen, to a man today, they were running around, working hard, working for each other, defensively pretty damn solid. A couple of little half chances that they had, but they are literally half chances. We're clutching at straws if we're saying it weren't a good defensive performance. To go away to Brentford, keep a clean sheet, and the motivation was already there anyway. So we already knew that they were going to be up for it, because last season we got embarrassed there. Today, I don't think Arteta needed to do a team talk. Just showed the scoreline from last season. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe if they do another all for nothing, we'll see. But great performance all round, really. And some really good performances. We're back top of the table. We're obviously on international break now. Boo. And I've seen a lot of people moaning and crying and bitching about the fact that a lot of our players ain't going. Stop moaning about it. They're not going to get injured while they're not there. So they're going to be at Toney. If I was Arsenal, I'd go and arrange a little under-21s versus the full team that are still there, or maybe just go and do a little quick friendly somewhere behind closed doors, maybe against Brentford, maybe against Chelsea, whoever. Just go and do one for the players that are still there, because we have got a lot of players that are not going. Just keep the fitness going, because our next game is Tottenham. And I watched them yesterday. Defensively, they looked shocking in the first half. Second half, they were just ruthless. So that is going to be a big game. Both teams are playing well. Both teams are up the top of the table at the moment. And both teams are scoring a lot of goals as well. So that's going to be a big North London derby on the 1st of October, providing it goes ahead because of the train strike that's planned. So, yeah, man, all in all, after sitting here, having to get up early, turning up late for me watch along, and not having the score, the timer, the badges and all of that, and having to work and multitask, big up to all of you lot, man. Today was an enjoyable game of football, and it was nice to see. Because it's been a long time coming, and we're getting consistently a little bit better at the moment. Bounced straight back after the Man United game as well. And it's a shame that there's dumb, pointless international breaks. But, yeah, man, nice little kick around with the boys. Ivan Toney put in a spliff. And Arsenal, 3 points back at the top of the table with Man City and Tottenham not far behind. So that North London derby is probably going to have more on it than any North London derby we've had with them for a long, long time. Because I can't remember, maybe since 2016 when we were both fighting up with Leicester. That North London derby is going to be mad, and it's at the Emirates. So, yeah, I think it's at the Emirates anyway. I'm pretty sure it is. So, yeah, I think it is. That and Liverpool, next 2 Premier League games. We always beat them at the Emirates. I don't expect to see any different than beating them. So, leave all your thoughts and comments down below. Kenny's fan cam's coming out shortly. Jez and Matty, player ratings will be out later this evening as well. Big up to everyone who supports this channel. Make sure you check out the GoFundMe links in the chat as well, in the description. And we're out of here, guys. Adios, amigos. Still Arteta Fuera, by the way, for now. And we're out of here.